And a Millennium Edition GTX DI from another buddy of mine who works on Seadoos as well. And this one's got him stumped. Rebuilt the engine and cannot make it run. I have a gauge on it right now, fuel pressure gauge, because he had it cut here to see if there was a fuel pressure problem or what was going on. So we're going to run through all the basic diagnostics and see if we can figure out what's going on. So first of all, let's verify the problem or the complaint, and then we'll go from there. Tether going on, see if we get some fuel pressure. Getting nothing. Extremely low fuel pressure. Coming up. Maybe that is okay now. Nothing. Very low pressure. What does that mean? I don't know. All right, I hooked up the Seadoo Pro. Any faults? Bat bolt stuff, diagnostic cap stuff. Ah, come on. Clear all the faults first of all. Clearing. Then I want to go through and test all the different components. Fuel injectors, air injectors, rave solenoid. Suspicious of the rave solenoid as well because it's not engaging when it doesn't start. DI settings, sorry, monitor, good air pressure. All right, mag air. Yeah. Mag fuel. Yeah. Oh yeah. It is activating. I'm gonna try that, make sure. Yeah. I didn't hear it before, so I wasn't sure. So all that stuff is working. No faults. I don't think we're going to get any information, any more info out of this thing. All right, I don't know if you can see that gauge. I've hooked the air directly into the fuel rail. Still 20 PSI light. So what's going on? Something up with the fuel rail? Swap it out for fun? Maybe. Pulled the DI rail off and I noticed there's no rubber washers, O-rings, for the air injectors. So that's the first thing I'm going to put in, and then I'll put it back together again. And then the other thing is, oh no, no, that's okay. I thought the air injectors could have been mixed up. Yeah, I'm going to put 2 washers in there. Put her back together, we'll test her again. O-rings installed. They had to be there for a reason. I've never tried running one without. I guess now we'll know if that's the issue. I'm not going to put Loctite or anything on because I'm going to take it all apart again if it doesn't work. So Where is my return line? Right there. All these parts love to fall right under the motor. And the air injectors. May as well plug it in while I'm there. That one's plugged in already. And probably this one is so tight, you can't get a wrench in there very good. Obviously they made a little change and gave us more room on the newer ones. You can barely get your ratchet in there even. And hook up the fuel injector power. And the other one is there. It's quite a process. Fuel, air, and now I'll put the clips on. Tight space. All right. Let's see if we get something different on the gauge. Just see if there's anything changed. Yeah, that came right up. No change. I'm hearing an air leak from somewhere. I gotta find some soapy water. You know, before I do anything else, I always want to check compression, just so I know we're not fighting something. No, that. Those weren't tight at all. They're drenched. Let's just be sure that all that's good. Yep. Check this one. I'm sure it's good, but I like to check everything. Okay, I'm gonna carb clean these off, which I don't have now, and we'll pop them back in. Plugs back in, tighten down. Nothing. I gotta get up to 100. What is the issue? If I dump a little bit of fuel in the engine, it'll fire. Try that. Okay, while I was searching around, I found that the oil cable wasn't hooked up to the oil pump, so good thing that did not start. I've checked everything on the fuel rail, air pressure, all that stuff. I'd like to see the air pressure higher, but even when I hooked it up to the air compressor, it didn't work. So now I'm thinking I'm going to shoot a little bit of carb cleaner, which I found in there. Fires right up. Everything's working right. We have a fuel problem. So what now? Change the fuel rail out just to try a different one just to see? No change. Thinking. Okay, when I crank this over, I pulled the fuel rail off. Adding air doesn't change the pressure on here. If I disconnect it and crank it over, it still generates the same amount of air. Something weird is going on. I'm wondering if the return line isn't plugged, because I know, like, that's dry. That shouldn't be dry. That should be full of fuel too. Every time I take them off, they flood fuel everywhere, and this does not. So I'm going to blow some air through that and see. That's very unlikely, but who knows. I'm going to just open up the hood here, take off the fuel cap, and see if we can blow air through here. Yes. Why is fuel not coming out the return? This thing's starting to drive me nuts. Now it's coming out. Just gonna crank it without the air hooked up. See what we see. Okay, now I'll hook up the air. And testing. $75. Where is the air going? This has got me baffled. All right, here we are. Old pump's out. Swap out, going back in. getting inundated with messages and problems. As you can imagine, this time of year. Oh, no gasket. What are the chances I put the gasket on top? 0? Yes. And these are hard to get to align too, those gaskets, because the holes are not equally spaced. Do I have to pull this all apart? Yes. Heck, that thing wasn't clipped in all the way. Now it is. Where'd the gasket go, boys? You got to see it. Let me find it. The other gasket vanished, so I put a different one, had a new one. There. Okay. Couple bolts. That's the boring part. I'll put on some bolts and then I'll bring you back. How about that? Still got a few more bolts to go, but I wanted to hook up all the lines. Oh, these zip ties. Clip in there. That clips in there. And that clips in there. And that's the vent. I'll have to fix that now. Holy cow. That's going to be fun. Back up on the machine, gauge, see if we get pressure. No pressure yet. Why not? I think this thing is out of gas too, to boot. She's fighting us. Pulled the pump out. Maybe it wasn't sitting proper. Tested it. It's pumping. Filled gas in the machine. Now we're somewhere. Let's see what happens. Woo! Oh my God, what a nightmare. And there she is on the trailer. Well, it was on the trailer before, all buttoned up, ready to get out of here. One last crank now that it sat for a while. Oh yeah. And the Ray valve solenoid cycles. All right, that one is done. That one was a nightmare. What are you gonna do? All right, there you have it. Another one going out the door. That one was a tricky one. Wasn't sure if I could figure it out. You always got to trust the gauges and the air pressure and fuel pressure, and you know, they won't fire off until it gets up to 100 psi combined. It'll just crank and crank all day long. And you heard the fuel pump run. You saw fuel pump pressure on the gauge. Whatever was going on with that pump, there was something wrong, whether it was putting out too much pressure or not holding. I don't know what the deal was, but you saw as soon as we threw the new pump in, boom, she fired right up, and now it's starting mint. So next time you're thinking, oh, I just put a fuel pump in it, that can't be the problem. Yeah, it can be. So anyway, some lessons to be learned. I suspected it was a fuel pump, but I hate diving into that because I always have trouble and I always have to pull it apart again and put it back together again. And this was no different this time. But anyway, she's done. She's going out the door. So anyway, until the next one, appreciate you watching. And this will be the next one, an orange RXDI. Special edition or just a cover-up paint job? We're gonna find out.